All right, HD 32. We'll go ahead and make this way up. We're staying with our same monitors. Thank goodness the AC noise quit, but thankful for the air conditioning. All right, so let me introduce to you Representative Jim Shaw. Now, HD 32 does have two people running. Jack Vaughn is the other candidate who's running. We did reach out to him and invite him, but it appears he is not here this evening. So, sir, opening statements.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you all for being here this evening. Really appreciate you taking the time, and for the Payne County Republican Party for putting this on. Again, Jim Shaw, State Rep, District 32. I cover the city of Perkins up here in Payne County, as well as a little bit of Logan County and then 100% of Lincoln County. A little bit about my background. My wife and daughters and I live just outside of Chandler. I've been in oil and gas a little over 20 years. Previously co-owned, operated, and was Chief Operating Officer of a software and services business in oil and gas. Sold that back in 2022. Got into the state capitol a couple of years ago through the last campaign cycle. Something that I'm fairly proud of is over the last couple of years, there's been almost 2,000 votes on the House floor between the last 2 years, and I didn't miss a single vote. A lot of what we do in the building is voting on policy, and I take that very seriously, and I look forward to hopefully representing House District 32 again. Thank you again for being here.
Representative, I have your first question. First question is, unfortunately, when many elected officials are elected to successive terms, they tend to act less like representatives and more like part of the aristocracy. How would you ensure your constituents this won't be true for you?
So to make sure I understand, how do I not become somebody that I'm not in my succeeding term? Is that what the question was?
How do you not fall to becoming part of the aristocracy?
Understood. Okay, thank you for the question. First and foremost, I serve my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I serve my family and I serve District 32, and I take that very seriously. Over the last couple of years, I have not been shy to stand up for my morals, my values, my principles, my beliefs every single time, and I look forward to doing that again. And I think one way to continue to do that is to make sure that I'm open and honest and consistently transparent with my district, and making sure that I'm staying in tune with the desires and the wishes of my district. And I've done that the last couple of years, and I can never promise outcomes, but I can promise effort, and that's what I did a couple of years ago, and I continue to make that promise.
Jim, Oklahoma ranks near the bottom in high school graduation percentages. What bills do you think that the legislature could help pass to increase the graduation rates?
Yeah, when we talk about public education, for me, the vast majority of the effort and the resources and the finances need to go into the classroom. I mean, we need to be supporting teachers. It disgusts me that I've gone around and I've been door knocking, and I talk to so many teachers who are paying out of their own pocket just for supplies for their classroom. That's not how this should work. We do have other extracurricular activities within school, and I understand that. I grew up being a student athlete, so I understand the significance of athletics, but it is student athlete, and we need to make sure that we are pouring as much money and time and resource into the classroom that most impacts the teachers and the children.
Next question. Your campaign website addresses transparency and accountability for public officials. If re-elected, what will you do to increase transparency within the state legislature?
Great question. I had a bill this session that would have banned non-disclosure agreements for publicly elected or appointed officials. Y'all want to know what happened to that bill? I went to the committee chair and I said, I really want you to hear this bill. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And he looked at me square in the face and he said, I'm too scared to run the bill, because I think it's going to harm incoming business in the state. And that basically summed up a couple of unfortunate truths within our state legislature. Everybody in that building is afraid of leadership, and they're more worried about catering to corporate special interests than they are the people of Oklahoma. I will be running that bill again, and I will be talking to my committee chair if he's still in the building again.
I know you just said that you're going to be putting a bill in, but what would be your first bill that you would like to introduce and pass in the next session?
Well, seeing as how we have a state legislature that is far more liberal than what we are on paper, the vast majority of the legislation that House District 32 wants and that I've been pushing has not gone all the way through the legislative process. So I've got a list of bills, whether it's green energy, foreign land ownership, human raised fertilizer, banning non-disclosure agreements. There's a lot that I'm going to be pushing, but quite frankly, if I boil it down to one or two, it's going to be green energy and human that most impacts House District 32.
Campaigns at the state level office, campaigns for state level offices have become extremely expensive and heavily influenced by dark money. Do you envision legislation that would curtail the influence of dark money?
I would sure love to see that if it was possible. I know the previous speakers talked about freedom of speech and what have you, and campaign contributions and how that dark money flows across the country from the federal level and across state lines is very interesting, but it is absolutely a disgrace to see some of the output of what that dark money is pushing. I obviously have been on the receiving end of that a whole lot a couple of years ago and still receiving that this year. But I would absolutely be all ears if there is a path for us constitutionally and legally to pursue action on that. Bring it on. Let's do it.
As you can look out here and see, there's a lot of empty seats. There are not very many people that's coming to something like this to get informed. How do you see what we need to get more Republicans out to vote and to come out and listen to what's going on?
So I think a lot of it has to do with messaging and awareness. A lot of people back home are not here because they know statistically and on paper we're a supermajority Republican-led state and all 77 counties went for Trump every single time, and so they think everything is going in the right direction, when in reality it's not. It's going in the opposite direction. So to me, it starts with bringing messaging and awareness across the state on key critical issues that are impacting people that they may not even be aware of yet. Because when people know that they're being impacted by an issue and they really realize how much money is being taken out of their pocketbook and wasted, they'll start getting informed and involved.
Would you author or sponsor a bill banning Sharia law in Oklahoma and from teaching it in Oklahoma public schools?
100%. I signed on to the resolution earlier this past session that would have banned Sharia law from ever having any sort of place in our legal system. So I've already supported banning Sharia law and making sure that it is not taught or embraced or pushed forward in any way.
That brings us to the end of this session. Would you give us your closing remarks, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you again, and everybody, for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. It's really been a blessing and an honor and a privilege for me to serve District 32 the last couple of years. Something that I learned in my business, running my business for as long as I did, there's a time and a place to negotiate on certain things, and there's a time and a place to tell the other side that you are absolutely unwilling to do so. And I pray for discernment on that every single day when I'm serving District 32, and prayerfully I am serving District 32 the way that the Lord wants me and the way that you all would prefer. But the truth of the matter is, leadership in the building demands complete compliance and allegiance to their agenda and their agenda alone, and I will not sell out like that. I've seen an amazing amount of pressure and a movement from the people bringing pressure into the Capitol, into legislators' offices, and into the legislative process, so much so that we have gotten some really good victories and we're moving things in the right direction. I look forward to hopefully securing your vote and support again on June 16th. I ask that you stick with me in this. God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, County District 1, gentlemen, please come on up. We are also switching out our moderator team, back to our jury team. Dr. Dancer, Thomas O'Reilly. So, you may stand, you may sit, it's completely up to you. So, we have Commissioner Zack Cavett, Jacob Presuhn, and Ray Harper. And of course, beforehand, we drew to see who was going to open. We will start with Commissioner Zack. We will then go to Ray, and then Jacob, and I will give you this microphone for a third microphone. So Zack, we'll do same.
Good evening, and thanks for making this opportunity available. My name is Zack Cavett. I've been the elected commissioner in District 1 since 2012. I'm married for 25 years this November. We have 3 children. I was born in Payne County, and I plan on being married in Payne County, unless the rapture happens first. There's been some very good accomplishments that happened under my leadership. Brought in billions of dollars to supplement funds for roads. I know every legislator's mobile number, and I think I have their trust that if I reach out regarding a bill that affects counties, that they would at least have a listening ear. And again, I appreciate the opportunity.
I'm Ray Harper. I've lived in this county for 40 years, got 3 kids, 6 grandkids, and I'm ready for a job change, so I'm going to give this a try.
Hey everybody, I'm Jacob Presuhn. I want to thank y'all for being here tonight and taking your time to come and hear what we have to say to y'all. I'm very interested in moving our county forward. I'm interested in hearing our people and serving our people in this county. And I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Commissioner Cavett, first question. With as much detail as time will allow, please describe the job of County Commissioner for Payne County, District 1.
So the job of Payne County Commissioner is we act as a board, and together that board will either allow or disallow every expenditure for every penny that flows through the county. So we're in charge of policy, procedure. We work again with legislators to enact and pass bills. We also keep up roads in Payne County. We're unique, one of 3 counties in the state that only have 2 road districts, District 1 and District 3. So we're tasked and charged with maintaining the infrastructure road system and bridges in our district as well.
Mr. Harper, same question. With as much detail as time will allow, please describe the job of County Commissioner for Payne County, District 1.
Well, I'm here to help the whole county if I can. Roads need some updating. We need to work on signs, cleaning intersections. You might pull clear out in it to see us. Anybody coming? Need to work on water issues, running off the roads. Keep the ditches clean. Got to work on getting money in here to do all this stuff.
Mr. Presuhn, same question again. With as much detail as time will allow, please describe the job of County Commissioner for Payne County, District 1.
Thank you. Yes, first and foremost, I believe the county commissioner serves the people. I think that's our main role and our job is to make sure that our people across our district are taken care of, that they're able to travel around our area unobstructed without having any issues with vehicles. We do take care of a lot of different things in regard to voting and finances. We oversee a lot of different aspects of that.
Mr. Harper, with you, second question to start with. With distrust of government at an all-time high, how can you as a county commissioner provide greater transparency?
Well, that's a tough one. I don't know, watch where you're spending money then, mostly, and how it's spent. Do it wisely.
I'm trying to get this right. Mr. Presuhn? Same question. Distrust of government at an all-time high. How can you as a county commissioner provide greater transparency?
Really, people don't have a problem with the transparency. People look for a change when they're not being served in a manner that they see fit. When their money is not spent or they don't see what's going on with it, that's when they bring up transparency. So my goal is to be a good steward of that, of those finances, be a good steward of y'all's time, to make sure that I'm using my time wisely to take care of each other.
Commissioner Cavett, same question. Distrust of government seemingly at all-time highs. How can you as a county commissioner provide greater transparency?
Well, in county government, since the Great Commissioner scandal in the 70s, the state auditor inspector has been tasked and charged with auditing county government in a very stringent manner. So now the state auditor inspector audits the county every year. We're the only entity that has to publish not only our minutes, but every expenditure for the month. So if you look at the paper, under the legals, it'll show every penny that is spent by the county. And every penny that is spent has been board approved by the 3 commissioners. So there is very good transparency, I believe, in county government for the spending.
Mr. Presuhn, third question. Do you believe there is a problem with employee turnover and labor shortage in the district? If so, how would you address the problems? And is this primarily a competitive pay issue?
I think across the board we see a competitive pay issue. It's one of our main topics that we deal with as employees of the county, the struggle paycheck to paycheck to continue doing what we're doing. And there are opportunities for operators and different people within our department that they can go make more money in the private sector. They can make more money going into business for themselves. But what we have to get down to is the values and instilling values in our employees that make them want to stay.
Commissioner Cavett, same question. Do you believe there is a problem with employee turnover and labor shortage in the district? If so, how would you address the problems? And is this primarily a competitive pay issue?
So the employee turnover in District 1, we haven't had a whole lot of employee turnover, but the few that have left for better paying jobs. I see that if you go to work for the city of Stillwater as a police officer, in 2 years you're making more than an elected official in Payne County. So there is some issues to competitive pay. With that being said, I believe we also need to train up a generation that is willing to work. If I say I'll work for you for $15 an hour, that's what I should do. But the better you can pay, the more apt you are to retain employees.
And lastly, Mr. Harper, same question. Do you believe there is a problem with employee turnover and labor shortage in the district? And if so, how would you address those problems? And is this primarily a competitive pay issue?
Well, I think having good health insurance helps that. In our market now, we've got the same problem. So it's not just a county deal, it's everywhere. So we gotta try to figure out how to give people raises if they want to stay at work. If not, they'll go to McDonald's for a good job.
Commissioner Cavett, what are your top 2 priorities for the district and some specific plans on how to achieve?
Among the top 2 priorities is continuing the partnerships that I've built with the tribal entities. Currently, I have 3 bridges with Zack and Fox Nation and 7 bridges with Pawnee Nation that they are slated to build within District 1. Another thing is the question that left me.
Top 2 priorities?
Top 2 priorities. Also, I was one of the board members that helped present transitioning the quarter-cent sales tax from the jail into a tax that benefits the roads. And so currently, next year, or next summer, I'm planning on overlaying Duncan Road from 108 south all the way to Norfolk, and have 9th and Harmony in our serve plan.
Mr. Harper, the same question. Top 2 priorities for the district and plans, specific plans on how to achieve them.
First thing, I've had a lot of people tell me that old Highway 51, something's done with it. There's a lot of people that's on that road. And it needs drainage fixed on it too. What was the next part of that?
It was for 2 priorities and specific plans on how to achieve them.
Yeah, how to achieve that is going to take a lot of money to do it. Have to get the legislature for that.
Same question, Mr. Presuhn. Top 2 priorities for the district and specific plans on how to achieve them.
So my first priority is going to be to get a feel for where every one of our roads is. Every road in our district needs to be, to have a starting point, to see where we're at with it, and moving forward, how we can get it to where it's supposed to be. Moving forward, we need to be able to have a plan in place that says, okay, this year we've improved this road, or this quarter we've improved this road, and to be able to grade it accordingly. The second issue is going to be funding. You know, same song and dance. We've got to seek out the funding that we need to make things happen for our people in our district.
Next question, starting with you, Mr. Harper. While it's understood that non-planned events and emergencies occur, what is a reasonable expectation for residents on non-paved roads to receive maintenance? And specifically, how often should residents expect their roads to be graded?
Well, an emergency that needs to be done right now. The tree across the road's got to be moved. And they probably need to be graded every 2 weeks. When that line needs it.
To you, Mr. Presuhn. While it's understood that non-planned events and emergencies occur, what is a reasonable expectation for residents on non-paved roads to receive maintenance? And specifically, how often should residents expect their roads to be graded?
Reasonable expectations for our residents, they should be able to travel the roads. They should be able to not slide off in the ditch when they're going down and get stuck. They should be able to pull up to a stop sign without having to pull into the intersection and see how to clear view. I do think you can overgrade a real too hot summer when it's real dry. Twice a month, I think that's a common occurrence. Twice a month is perfect.
And then lastly, Commissioner Cavett, the same question. While it's understood that non-planned events and emergencies occur, what is a reasonable expectation for residents on non-paved roads to receive maintenance? And specifically, how often should residents expect their roads to be graded?
It depends on the use. If you have a road that has maybe 5 cars a day, it's not going to require the maintenance that a road that has 200 cars a day. So I developed in District 1 a grader operation instruction sheet, and they are to abide by that. So the problem with dirt roads, where you get the washboards, is rapid acceleration and rapid braking. That's why you find many of the potholes and washboards happen near stop signs. And when you're grading dry material into those potholes and a car hits it, it just puffs out the dry material. So one of the big issues is you should be grading only when there's optimal moisture in the soil, so it packs back properly.
Okay, we're going to go back to that question we had for District 3 and Commissioner Cavett. This is the one, unfortunately, where it's a pass vote and ask a question. So same question. In January 21st, 2025 Commissioner meeting, you voted in favor of the data center pilot program, payment in lieu of taxes for a 25-year tax deferment for the county's portion. A year later, do you stand by that vote and your reasons why or why not?
With the information I had at that time, I do stand by that vote. So there was 5 different boards that voted on that, not just the county commissioners. what the county commissioners were tasked with voting on was, should we continue to receive less than $100 for this piece of property where the data center now is being built? Or should we take $1 million a year in tax funds? And that, I mean, all the other 4 boards voted in favor of it. And, you know, hindsight is 20/20. Looking back, we could possibly have regrets, but with the information that was made available at that time, I don't believe I made a bad decision.
Mr. Presuhn, your comments, do you agree with that vote, and why or why not? Looking at the rear, it has to do with the vote of the county commissioner's pilot program for the data center, the payment deferral, or tax deferment, excuse me, in lieu of other funds.
You know, I don't have a lot of information on that, but a tax deferment usually doesn't stand in favor of our county. Generally stands in favor of bringing a business into our county. So just with that preface and that information, I would be against that.
Same question, Mr. Harper.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea for, it depends on what company may come in here. Maybe something we don't even want.
All right, next question then. Mr. Presuhn, there is growing concern regarding wind turbines, solar installations, high voltage transmission lines, data centers, etc. And in this context, the question of zoning has come up. Do you favor countywide zoning? Why or why not? And please explain.
So I would have to be against countywide zoning, just for the simple fact that it actually removes a certain portion of our property rights. It doesn't have those rights. What we need to do is work on a solution to the issues that you say.
All right, Commissioner Cavett, same question again. There is growing concern, regarding wind turbines, solar installations, high voltage transmission lines, data centers, etc. And in this context, the question of zoning has come up. Do you favor countywide zoning? Why or why not? Please explain.
I personally do not like the thought of zoning. However, as a commissioner, if there was a majority of the people that wanted it, all the commissioners could do is put it to a ballot initiative for the voters of Payne County to vote on to pass that around. And I would be willing to do that, even though I'm necessarily not in favor of zoning. When you have zoning, you're going to have somebody over that zoning, and then you're going to have somebody that's unelected saying what you can and can't do with your property. And I'm just not in favor of those kind of things.
And Mr. Harper, again, there is growing concern regarding wind turbines, solar installations, high voltage transmission lines, data centers, etc. And in this context, the question of zoning has come up. Do you favor countywide zoning? Why or why not? And please explain.
No, I'm not in favor of it. We've been in a country for 250 years doing without that stuff. We don't need it now.
Just a brief follow-up, if you care to add anything to your answers already. Mr. Presuhn, starting with you, are there ways to address these concerns and maintain private property rights?
There's a lot of smart people out there. I will guarantee that there's a way to address the concerns without infringing on any rights of the property.
Commissioner Cavett, would you care to add anything to what you already said? Are there ways to address these concerns and maintain private property rights?
Concerns of data centers and things like that. Well, I believe that when an individual owns a piece of property, they should have the right to sell that to whomever they choose. Although I wouldn't like to see a wind turbine chopping the sunshine when I'm sitting on my front porch, it's their property. And I don't know what to do about that. Now, I'm for property rights. I don't like eminent domain, although I've had to do that on a bridge project. But in that bridge project, that affects everyone using that roadway. And it was just for enough easement that we could get the bridge built.
And lastly, Mr. Harper, would you care to add anything? Are there ways to address these concerns and maintain private property rights?
I don't know about how you go about it. It's your property, you have the right to do what you want with it.
Next, Commissioner Cavett. If the state question 832 passes, what would be the impact on county government, and what would your strategy be to deal with that impact?
If 832 passes, I believe most every employee for the county currently makes over the $15 an hour, so I don't believe that it would negatively affect Payne County. There are a lot of counties in the state that are not as blessed as we are here in the county, and it would very negatively impact them. So as far as what strategy would I use to come up with that, again, in Payne County, most of our employees make over $15 an hour, so there wouldn't be much that we would have to do to address that.
Mr. Harper, what are your comments regarding this question? If state question 832 passes, what would be the impact on county government, and what would your strategy be to deal with that?
Legislature got to find a way of doing that. I don't think it needs to pass. It's going to rise everything up. Harper already is.
And Mr. Presuhn, lastly, same question. If state question 832 passes, what would be the impact on county government as you understand it, and what would your strategy be to deal with that impact?
Yeah, so if it passes, we're looking at increased rock prices. If the crusher man has to pay his hands more money, it's obviously going to translate to the customer. And you guys are the customer, So we would have to be strategic in how we move around the county with our rock, with paved roads, if that doesn't pass.
One final question. Go back to the last question from the previous segment. Start with Mr. Harper. Mr. Harper, you're running to be a county commissioner for Payne County. What about Payne County makes it worth putting your name and your family through this process?
Well, I've always been helping people out there, and I might as well see if I can help the whole county. I've got kids and grandkids that are here, so I want them to do it too.
Mr. Presuhn, your same question to you. What if you're running to be a county commissioner? What about Payne County makes it worth putting yourself, your name, and your family through this process?
Before going out and campaigning and visiting with a lot of people in our county, that would have been a hard question. But as I went out and shaking hands, I realized how many good people we've got out and about. And, they deserve it. They deserve somebody that cares about them, that look them in the eye and tell them, I'm here to work for you. And that's what makes it work.
Commissioner Cavett, same question. What?
So the reason I originally ran is because I felt like I could operate this one more efficiently, stretching the dollar to the maximum, and I believe I've done that, and I'd like to continue working for the people and improving our roads. Currently, we haul over $60,000 worth of haul a month, and with the improvements I've made, I look at this position as a customer service position. I'm a servant at heart. And I believe in what is called the golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated. And that's the way I try to do with every person that calls in. I don't call it a complaint, I call it a request. Because everybody has issues. And unfortunately, we can't address every issue, but we do our best to address everything we can.
We're on the closing comments. Mr. Presuhn, closing comments.
Guys and gals, I thank y'all for being here. I thank you for taking the time to invest in this campaign, invest in knowing what your people are about. If elected, I will go to work for each and every one. It doesn't matter what part of the county you're in, I will do what I can. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Commissioner Cavett.
As election draws close, I would appreciate to continue to have the ability to serve you and continue working with the Board of County Commissioners to improve our policies and procedures, working down at ACO with the Association of County Commissioners of Oklahoma to help educate legislators on issues that counties face and continue to build relationships and most of all improve our experience as Payne County residents and do my best to serve you.
Mr. Harper.
Okay. I'm ready to go for 24 hours a day if I have to. I'm here at 2:30 in the morning now, but I'm still up now. So, if anybody needs anything, I'm ready to do it. Ready to go.
Hey, go ahead, you guys go ahead and disembark there. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of our candidates for coming in tonight. I know it's been a very busy week. It's going to be a very busy weekend as you guys wrap everything up. Thank you so much. I hope everybody's enjoyed this evening, and I'm sure everybody is well aware of Tuesday's the big day. It's election day. Get out and vote. Make sure all your friends and family get out and vote. Everybody you know in church, make sure that they vote. Early voting has already started. It started today. It goes the next 2 days. If you aren't ready to vote, lock in that vote. Get it done. Make sure your friends and family, if they're all satisfied and happy, make sure that they get out and vote as well. Lock in that vote. You can go and vote early at the Payne County Expo Center at the fairgrounds. You can also vote at the Cushing Chamber of Commerce. So make sure that when you do vote, you vote the entire ballot. I believe there's about 4 pages, with the last page being the state question. The other 3 pages are probably going to be front and back. Make sure you vote in every one of those races. There's no reason not to. You can also go to the Payne County website, download a sample ballot. It'll say sample ballot on it. Refill it out. Mark everybody that you like. Look, see if there's anything you need to look up. You can take the sample ballot with you when you go and vote. Just don't show it to people and don't leave it on the desk whenever you are done. And I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's forum. Of course, we've got Payne County Republicans. We're going to do a drawing here in just a second. Payne County Republicans, we have, what's that?
Vote no on the state question.
Oh, state question. Vote no on the state question. Oh. I vote no on the state question. We're going to do our drawing here in just a second. Of course, we have lots of things planned throughout the year. This forum is just one of many things to come. We've got our Victory Center, we've got Veterans Day, we've got the Homecoming Parade, we've got a booth at the county fair. And of course, all of that is possible because of participants such as yourself and through donations. There is a donation jar, I believe, out in the check-in desk. So in the spirit of the founding of America, I would ask everybody to feel free to donate as they want, as they feel blessed to. And in the spirit of the 4th of July, donate 1776. Or if you feel so inclined, $25 or more for our 250th anniversary. Alice there, I believe, has got the donation jar. Everything is appreciated and accepted. And I believe we're doing a drawing now for the 250th celebration by the state GOP. Right? All right, so it's actually looking like that all. I mean, for everyone to know I'm doing something correct, I declare here. She was my wonderful mom. Wow, first name, John Irons. How many we got? 4? Is that it? Just one? Oh, just one. Okay, John. I'm sure you'll get you the tickets here in a little bit. So, once again, Patty, you got any last things? Oh, Patty's got something to say.
Thank you all for coming, I appreciate it. Thank you, moderators. Thank you for the people who helped. I would like to say that in the back of the room, the candidates brought literature with them. There are some signs if you want to pick up a sign and support your candidate. There's still time to get them in your lawn and proudly boast who you're voting for and supporting. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I know the candidates are eager to speak more with you in the last questions you have with them. Feel free to visit with them, but I also want to thank all of our wonderful volunteers and some of the people who did the time, that came in to help set up. Our moderators, fantastic job. You guys are wonderful. I know they did lots of hard work and really worked on coming up with fantastic questions and leading those discussions. I want to thank the community center. I also want to thank Cooper, our tech and sound guy right here. This gentleman was here with the community center, helped us set up, tested everything, did a fantastic job. You're very wonderful. And I want to thank all the audience. You guys are wonderful as well for coming out tonight. Everybody's so eager to get up and go. You guys are amazing. Good night, and God bless all of you. Thank you so much.